Hi there, kids. This is Sister Slayla with Serial News. Thanks for coming to join me on JOKERJOKERtv. Let's talk about a few. Let's not look at that. Let's talk about a few things. Hi, everybody. So sorry about the weather problems that we're having. Thanks for sticking around with us, though. I did have some things to talk about, though. Well, first off, I want to talk about some clown shit. Did you know that clowns started as early as the Egyptian times, like the pyramids and the pharaohs? The pharaohs actually had a court jester, but it definitely had a different name. So educate yourselves, all right? Because we're going to be doing a clown crusade on August 3rd, and I need your clowns. I cannot stress this enough. I need your clowns. So send them my way, please. We have one more week until deadlines for me to be editing. And then it's go time, babies. All right. Anyway, so then I have some current events to discuss with you. I've got a lot. I've got a lot of notes. So they're just little headliners because I don't want to go into terrible details just in case we lose a signal again. But did you know that Chinese hackers breached the U.S. emails? Wild. Then the heat index, the heat wave that we've been feeling, you know how it feels like the scene from Ace Ventura where he's in the rhino suit? Yeah. So apparently that's got scientists really concerned about the mosquito population increasing malaria right now. And then also there is an 11-year-old daughter of a top Kashmiri rebel leader who has she's issued out a rare appeal to visit her father in jail in India, which it's rare because he's a rebel leader, so like he's not supposed to have any communication with anybody. Apparently she's winning. Fuck yeah. And then better news, Johnny Depp is selling his self-portrait. Anyway, also, if you remember last week, Rick Ricochet told us that UFOs don't exist. And that's because they're called UAPs now. So that's what you have to Google. If you want to find out about our neighbors out in the space worlds, you have to Google the correct acronym. And this is, UAPs are defined as sightings that cannot be identified as aircraft or natural phenomenon from a scientific perspective. NASA comments on a new era of transparency. So maybe now we'll start actually learning about real aliens and not just being told a bunch of booey. Another thing I wanted to go over, on Tuesday, I got to help with the Athens Fine Arts Academy with their viewing of Bill Cody's docu-movie of The Two-Headed Cow, which is the story of Dexter Romweber. And so I have a little bit of notes. So Bill Cody and his production team, they had, he said that they were like in their 30s in Hollywood, and they just did what you do when you're in your 30s in Hollywood. Drugs, rock and roll, sex, and making a documentary about somebody cooler than you. And they had to stop production, unfortunately, because of circumstantial situations, but they were able to finish everything once they gained the funding and were able to recover some of their lost negatives. But they did it all in like a backyard setting. A lot of the scenes are done in a hotel room that they were all staying in with Dexter. And it's really cool. It's really humbling. You get to see this guy who, you get to see him as a young, aspiring star who had no intentions of being famous. He just wanted to play music, and he had inspirations like the Coasters and Buddy Holly and the Cramps, and he even got to play with the Cramps, and he was like, oh my God, I just love playing music. And he had a drummer. Hold on, I'm losing my notes here. He had a drummer that was like his best friend for like 13 to 15 years plus, playing with him, and then there is an issue with that. There is delegations against what actually happened, so I'm not going to go into the details. That's their story to tell. You'll just have to watch the movie. But they lost touch with each other, and Dexter was able to come back into playing with his sister as his drummer, and that's really cool because you got to keep it in the family. You know, when your talent is just genetic, you know, you have to support it. And that was something that his mother even supported. She would say that she just wanted to have the bands. She said that she would have about 3 bands playing in a house at all times, and it was because it made her feel safer knowing where the kids were and what they were doing. So, and she even goes on to talk about how she understood the life of rockabilly, and that there was going to be drugs, there was going to be influences, but she knew that her kids were safe, that they were going to come home that night, and then she knew that their friends were going to be safe. So that's also really cool. That kind of made me tear up a little bit. I was a little out of character. But so that was when he was in Flat Duos, and then Flat Duo Sets, which is actually named after the Gene Vincent guitar, which is kind of cool. I love finding out origins of band names, and like that it's because he just loved his guitar so dang much. His sister even goes to talk about her venture into buying a guitar, and then so does Nico Case. But Dexter does talk about the dark side, that he compares it a lot to Baudelaire, Charles Baudelaire, which, again, for me, that's relatable because I compare a lot of my life and my dark paths with Charles Bukowski. He's an asshole, and he's proud of being an asshole. He says that he would rather, he would say, because he's dead, that he would rather spend time alone than with people because he just didn't like people in general, which is just so relatable. Dexter goes on to say that today's music, he said, I don't hear the purity. It's all glossy. The raw edge of rock isn't in music anymore. And that's sad because maybe he's just not finding the right things. And that's just because, you know, as our guest had spoke earlier, Aaron, he was talking about how, you know, everything's always available to you. It's all right there. You don't need to mark your calendars because you can just go find it permanently stuck on the internet. And so then you get a fatigue. You get burnt out, and then you don't want to look for anything anymore. So that's sad that a very promising musician feels that everything that's new is just kind of oversaturated and lost touch to what he found as his starting point. So then more parts of it was that he spoke about a song that he wrote, and this is when the film starts taking on a more present time setting with Dexter. He's older now, and this is when, you know, they lost their negatives and they had to film backyard stuff, so they're filming in the van, going from place to place, filming in the hotel rooms. And Dexter goes to talk about The Dark Night is a Falling, and this is a song that really embodies his personal development with his own, you know, childhood trauma. His parents divorced when he was 1. He never really got to know his dad, but his mother always made an effort at giving him luxuries that would otherwise not be provided for him if she hadn't cared so much. but it still took a strong downfall because she had to work for all 5 of her kids, in Venice, Florida. That shit's expensive in Florida. Why are you shaking your head over there? No. I thought you were disagreeing with me. Like, I was there. It's okay. So he was unearthing his trauma and how when he was 12 years old, he had started taking drugs out of his mom's medicine cabinet, and that's kind of where his downfall started. But, he goes on to say that his mother tried, that she tried to raise him right. And honestly, everybody always jokes about mama tried, and it's like, but did she? And for him, you can see in clips, there's a clip in the movie where they're playing piano together and singing along to this beautiful serenade. And again, made me tear up because I fucking love my mama. I'm actually wearing her jacket. So she goes on to talk about his childhood, about how he had issues in school, which I know a lot of us can relate to because school sucks. The public system definitely failed every single one of us. But instead of attending classes, he had a very poor attendance that she wasn't even aware of for a little while, but that he would instead take his guitar to lunch and then would sing and perform for the lunch ladies while they were cooking meals for the thousands of students that just otherwise they didn't appreciate these ladies, and they work really hard to give you some schlop that they're told is nutrition. So I'm sure that made those ladies blush, and that wins my heart because old ladies, they need love too, But so I do want to go over more about. Oh my God, I lost my notes again. The Baudelaire poem that he reads. I'm not going to read the whole poem. It's also in French, but I found the translation of it, and I just have one part of the poem that really resonates with me. The poem is called I've been assaulted.
Yeah, getting violent here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now that we're awake, let's talk about Charles Baudelaire. Okay, so the poem is called Revisitation. It's the part of it, it's like the second paragraph of the poem. All right, so follow with me. I'm sorry that this is going to be like a snore fest real quick. Angel full of kindness, do you know hatred? The clenched fists in the darkness and the tears of gall. When vengeance beats out his hellish call to arms and makes himself the captain of our faculties. Angel full of kindness, do you know hatred? And as a clown, I just gotta say, we embody all emotions for you. We do. Everything, it's either compartmentalized so that we can bring you laughter. I talked about last week how we use laughter as medicine. It's healing. We know hatred. We know anger. We definitely deal with discrimination. I get called a juggalo all the time. And if you remember me from Mathfest, it makes me really upset. So, if you just go find the poem, you're going to find a part of that poem that is going to resonate with you as well, just like it resonated with Dexter for all of his life, apparently. So then we go on to, oh my God, now I'm going to hit myself. His personal statement on himself was that he started having this moment of awakening, I guess, where he started having these spiritual visions. And this was kind of where he was starting to get really confused about his substance abuse. He even goes to say that he just liked smoking pot. He loved drinking. You can watch in the movie, he's just a chain smoker, which, here at Joker, we totally relate to that one. But he also dabbled a little bit in acid. Who doesn't like the technicolors of life, right? And substances that enhance that. But he goes to talk about how he felt like he was more of a renegade Christian than a church-going praying man. He had a moment of clarity, though, because he would take these walks through the woods and he would imagine that Jesus was there doing the same thing, that like instead of himself, that it was Jesus taking these walks through the woods, and that Jesus would just stay there and he would look at the trees and admiring the trees and just being human and being humbled by the life. Like these trees, they don't go anywhere, they don't worship anybody, they're not sitting there praying all the time, but they're living and they're providing life. And that in itself, I think, is probably what he saw in his own music, which is great because we all need to do a reflection period on ourselves. Even as a clown, I have to do reflectionary meditations to make sure that I stay in my character. It's one of the amendments of being a clown. We have to stay in character so long as we are in our clown sona, doing our makeup, in our costumes. We have to have these moments of like, holy crap, I'm acting normal, and that's not okay. It's against the rules. So he had these moments of clarity. And then we're going to get to the end of my notes here, where there's this scene towards the end of the movie where Bill Cody does this movie magic crap. He's flipping between the present and the past of Dexter playing on his piano, on his mama's piano, and he's singing that song that him and his mom had sang together. And in the past, you can see her, she's like in the kitchen cleaning dishes or something, doing a mom thing. But in the future, in the present, he's playing, and it just sounds like he clipped it so well, you don't even tell a difference in his age. Like the soul never aged from that. And his mom even says that he was just always, he's the younger of her kids, but he was always the older of her kids, And I just thought that scene itself was magical to watch. And so here's the end of my notes. I'm so sorry, this was long. But all in all, the movie gives me an array of emotions, very relatable emotions. And I mean, obviously I wasn't there in clown, so I was able to express these emotions. And I was choking up, holding back tears. I even had to step outside, regrettably so, to just have a cigarette by myself because watching him chain smoke was fucking giving me an itch. And then also I just wanted to sit there and think about what I wanted to tell y'all about this movie. You really need to see it. You can watch it on Vimeo for free, or you can buy it and support Bill Cody, okay? So that's The Two-Headed Cow, and it will make you cry real tears, okay? So then moving on, after those long extensive notes, so sorry again, we are going to, so I don't have any music videos for you guys today. I'm so sorry. I didn't even record my show from last night at No Tomorrow or my birthday show from last Friday. I tried. Thank you, Mux, for telling everybody to give me shots because it fucking worked. I had to sober up 3 separate times. But the show on Friday did make a really good turnout. Bands, not yet. Bands actually got paid, which was great. I think I actually still owe somebody money. I'll work on that. But then the show last night at No Tomorrow, I had, the salad toss-up of the grindcore, ska, and heavy metal band. 5 people showed up. It is a Wednesday, so that sucks. But the bands played as if it was packed out, and that's phenomenal. That's what I'm here for. So then, instead of music videos, which you can always email us your music videos and we will play them. Do that. Go to our website, hit submit stuff. Do that. But I do have a lot of flyers for things going on in the Atlanta music scene. So first off, we have Eileen. Yeah. The Last Responders. They're from Portland, and Riverside Odds from Philly, playing with Saddam, Death Cave, and Swing Set. I love Swing Set. Their drummer is just a good friend of mine. He actually played in the band, one of the bands that played last night for me. Next up, we have the Barbie Party at Star Bar. There will be a DJ. There will be vendors, I'm pretty sure. Just a big old party fun. Dress up. in pink, obviously, because it's a Barbie world. Next, we have... Ooh, this one. Oh, this is like fucking phenomenal Riot Girl fun. We have Hornado. 2 of the members are twins. Yes. And then we have Los Hoyos Muertos. I actually have never seen them, and I really hope that I can make it to this show. Then we have our Athens heroes, Triangle Fire. If you know Nick and Tandy, then you know that that's going to be fucking phenomenal. And then last off, we have Red Hot Empty, who opened for my birthday, and I wished I had put them in a later slot because they just killed it, and they deserve all your support. Next up, we have Terminus Hate City with 40-ounce booking. They are doing a punk and metal flea market. I'm pretty sure that they're still accepting vendors' submissions. You'll have to go to the webpage on their Instagram for 40-ounce booking or Terminus. I think it's on both Instagrams. You can find them either Instagram or Facebook's. But there's going to be a huge lineup of bands, conglomerates of punk rock and metal from the Atlanta scene. Look, 404 Flea. Use that scanner code thingy. Next up, we have the Seizure Free Summer. This is a stacked as fuck boy flyer. It is brought to you by Black Blood Productions, Olivia Kruger, and Renegade Tattoo Company. We have Drop Dead Nasty, Gas Station Boner Pills, Thunder from the Gods. I don't know if you guys actually heard that. Grounds Crew, Witch Digger, Catch These Hands, Night Terrors, Rat Babies, Word Problems, and No Loves. Everybody is traveling in to see this one. This is to support epilepsy. All money made from the show is going to the Epilepsy Foundation. This is more hosted by Olivia Kruger than it is any of the rest of us. So please come out and support. That one's on August 25th. It is at Starbar. It's 21 and up. So sorry. So that's about it from me. Yeah, that's all I have for today. That was a lot. That was a mouthful. I'm so sorry you had to stare at my face this entire time. But hey, I love seeing you. So I'll see you guys next week. But remember, keep your spoons close, because I'm going to have a big old bowl of cereal news. Bye-bye.